Well, after 6 years in the House, Greg Pence is retiring, creating an open seat primary in Indiana's 6th Congressional District. And for a lot of gun voters in this part of the state, you're asking us, who is the pro-gun champion in this open seat primary? Stay tuned, guys. We're breaking the race down for you right now. Hey guys, Aaron Dorr here with the Indiana Firearms Coalition. The May 7 primary is coming very quickly, and a lot of gun owners in the eastern part of the state are asking us about the open seat primary in the 6th Congressional. Maybe you can see our hand-drawn map. It's not 100% perfect, but it's the best we could do on short notice. The district covers either the entirety of or portions of Bartholomew, Fayette, Hancock, Henry, Johnson, Marion, Randolph, Rush, Shelby, Union, and Wayne counties. And basically, if you're seeing the TV ads right now, you're probably in the 6th Congressional District. And as is normally the case in an open seat primary, we have a ton of candidates who have filed to run in this race. The stakes right now, frankly, could not be higher. For the last 4 years, Joe Biden has maintained a nonstop war against gun owners. Efforts to ban AR-15s, efforts to pass a national red flag gun seizure law, national gun registration, raising the age of when you can buy a firearm, and of course, executive actions that spite the Congress and mandate gun control through executive fiat. After a recent resignation just in the last week or two in Wisconsin, the Republicans right now have a one-seat majority in the House. And so for gun owners nationally, the question is, after the elections in November, will the GOP have a majority? That's the obvious question. The other question is, what kind of a majority will we have? Will we have pro-gun champions who want to fight to defend our gun rights if, God forbid, Joe Biden wins re-election? Or are we going to have more of the same rhinos who have done nothing to help us for a very long time in Washington, D.C.? It's a very, very important time for gun rights. And that's why IFC has worked very hard for the last couple of weeks to survey all the candidates going to represent us in this district. If you do not see your candidate's name on this board right now on the left side of the screen, that's because they have refused to fill out their Indiana Firearms Coalition candidate survey. We have mailed it to them, we have emailed it to them, and we have texted them if we have their contact info or if it was disclosed in their candidate filing forms. If their name is not on the left side here, they have not done it. So first, we'll get to the good news. The good news is that John Jacob, Jamison Carrier, and William Frazier have all surveyed 100% pro-gun with the Indiana Firearms Coalition. Now, what that means is they oppose every single bit of Joe Biden's war on our gun rights, but they'll also go on offense, especially in a Republican majority, and help push the agenda going forward. These guys have all agreed, for example, to co-sponsor bills like Congressman Matt Gaetz's effort to abolish the ATF, or Congressman Burleson's bill from Missouri to repeal the National Firearms Act. So all three of these guys 100% opposed to gun control and would support pro-gun bills in the Congress. But that's where the good news ends, because as everybody knows, Jefferson Shreve tried to buy himself a mayor's seat last year in Indianapolis, spent about $15 million of his own dollars. Don't feel bad for the guy. He's worth $500 million, so it's going to be okay. He's not going to starve. But when he ran for mayor last year, Jefferson Shreve made it very clear that he wasn't just some kind of a limp rhino. Jefferson Shreve despises the Second Amendment. Jefferson Shreve hates our gun rights. He publicly called for a complete ban on AR-15s and 30-round magazines. So as a congressman, just to be clear, that means he supports a nationwide ban on AR-15s. In other words, it could be a felony charge for anyone who wants to buy an AR-15 if Jefferson Shreve is able to join the left and ban these rifles. It is insanity. That's not by any means the end of it. Jefferson Shreve is also publicly on the record saying he wants to raise the age on when Hoosiers and Americans in general, again, it's a congressional run here, on when Americans can buy firearms. So right now, as everyone knows, 18 is the legal age to buy a long gun. So for Jefferson Shreve, he's okay with a Hoosier fighting in foreign lands for this country with all kinds of weapons. But if you come back to Indiana and you want to have an AR-15 or some kind of a rifle in your apartment as a young returning veteran who has your own place, he wants to make that, Jefferson Shreve wants to make that a felony offense. It is madness. Finally, Shreve has publicly called for a repeal on constitutional carry, the law we just finished passing just 2 years ago. I'll be honest, in this entire cycle, statewide, we have never seen a Republican candidate, so-called, push a gun control agenda like this. Naturally, he will not fill out our candidate survey, not much of a surprise there, but it's very clear from his public statements that Jefferson Shreve is a complete enemy to gun owners. Again, he's got a lot of money, and he's using a lot of money right now to run a nonstop media barrage trying to convince everyone that he supports the Second Amendment. But don't take his word for it, and don't take my word for it. Just Google his position statements on the Second Amendment when he ran for mayor just last year. And don't forget, this guy, Jefferson Shreve, is arm in arm, lockstep with Biden's agenda to ban AR-15s, ban 30-round magazines, raise the age of when you can buy firearms, and everything else. Guys, if you see Shreve at an event or at a forum, tell him to apologize. Tell him to walk back his statements for attacking our gun rights. And if you see John Jacob, Jamison Carrier, or William Frazier, thank them for their pro-gun survey. Guys, as always, share our video online so every gun voter can see this, and get more involved in the fight today at joinifc.com.